Aleph Cheshvan, the start of the Hebrew month of Cheshvan, many people call it Mar Cheshvan, marks the Hilula of a really great Turkish rabbi. His name was Rabbi Chiyah Pontromeli Z'tl Libracha, was great Posek. He was a judge, a Dayan, as they say in Hebrew, of Izmir. This was one of the biggest places in Turkey and possibly one of the largest Jewish communities in Jewish history in Turkey in of itself. He was author of the famous book, the Shut, She'elot and Teshuvot book called the Tzipichat Bdvash. So let's explore some of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now it's interesting, he actually came from very great rabbinic heritage. His father's name was Rabbi Binyamin Pontromeli, who we've spoken about before on various occasions. He himself happened to be a great rabbi, a great judge also, and a great scribe in Izmir, who was, I believe, the author of the famous book called the Shebet Binyamin. And very much he was an expert with this book itself of his father's, actually concentrated within regards to shechita, kosher slaughter, the laws within regards to shtarot, within regards to legal documents in of itself, and very much was, I think, part of the Bedin of that specific era of Rabbi Yitzchak Maayan. So now, it's actually interesting. Rabbi Chiyah was a really great rabbi. I think he was born during the, let's just say, the 1700s in of itself. Now, there's a disagreement, not a necessary disagreement, I've found in different places from my research that according to one source, he passed away in 1823. According to another source, it was in the year 1831, but be it as it may, he was very much a great member, let's just say, of the Pontremoli dynasty in of itself. There was a very great family, of chain of family, which came from the Pontremoli family, and arguably one of the best families, let's just say rabbinic families in Jewish history in of itself. He himself, Rabbi Chiyah, was born in an area called Smyrna. This, I think, is actually an ancient Greek city located, let's just say, at a strategic point on the Aegean coast of Anatolia, if I'm not mistaken, in of itself. And now, obviously, modern day, it's, I think, called Izmir in of itself. And we've spoken about his rabbi also, the very, very important rabbi of the Jewish community in Turkey. And it's actually interesting, he himself, Rabbi Chiyah, would go on to become an excellent and a very prolific Torah author in of itself. The famous work of it was Tzfihat Bdvsh, and there was various different collections he actually, let's just say, he wrote or worked on within regards to the Ora Chaim also. He was descended, I think, from the branch of an important family of great rabbis of Italian origin. I believe they actually immigrated to the Casal Monferrato. This happens to be, I think, let's just say a town in the Piedmont region of northwestern Italy. I think in the province of Alessandria, if I'm not mistaken. That's where they came from. I think from the Italian branch, important rabbis were born. The various different rabbis, I'll mention some of them. Rabbi Eliseo Graziadio Pontremoli, very, very good rabbi. He himself happened to be the great rabbi of Nice. Also, Rabbi Gabriel Pontremoli, he happened to be the chief rabbi of Turin. Turin of yesteryear happened to have like a very great Jewish community, I think, at that point in time. And now another great rabbi that came from his mishpacha, his family in himself, was Rabbi Chacham Esdra Pontremoli. He happened to be the rabbi of an area called Vercellia, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a province, I think, in northern Italy, if I'm not mistaken, one of the oldest urban sites in northern Italy, which is very, very interesting. Now, let's explore some of the great Torah works that Rabbi Chiyah actually wrote in of himself, because it really was. There was a shoot, as was before, the She'elot and Teshuvot book, question and answers book, called the Tzpichat Bdvash. I think this was printed in Thessaloniki in the Hebrew year, Taf Reish Chet. I think it was Teshuvot, which investigated, let's just say, the subjects in regards to Orach Chaim, the great rabbi, and V'yoreh, the part of the code of Jewish law in of itself. It was, I think, ordered and printed and organized by his son, Rabbi Chaim Ben Yamin. And I think it came out naturally, I think, in two different volumes, if I'm not mistaken, in the Hebrew month of Kislev, in the Hebrew year, Hey Tafshin Nun Zayin. If I'm not mistaken, in Ashdod, this was in at a later stage. This was a newer copy in of itself, and a very, very great book. I recommend everyone to actually look within regards to it. There's excellent things. Now, it's actually interesting that Tzpichat Dvash was an excellent book in of itself, and much more can be said within regards to the great rabbi. It's interesting, during his time period in of itself, there was a lot of great rabbis in Turkey, and we've spoken about many of the great rabbis before, including Rabbi Chaim Pelagi, Rabbi Avram Pelagi, and many other great rabbis. He passed away in Izmir, I believe. Either it was, I think, the year 1832, or another source said 1823, as we said before. And he actually left great descendants also, including, I believe, Rabbi Benjamin Pontromeli, who we said about before, and other great descendants in of itself. Please don't forget to light candles in his memory. I think he had a connection, family connection, also Rabbi Nissim Abraham Ashkenazi, who was also another great author of many Torah books in of itself. And I think it was maybe, I'm not too sure the exact connection, maybe it was one of his descendants got married to him. But he was a very great rabbi. At that point in time, Turkey was part of the Ottoman Empire also, which we should add on within regard to that. Please don't forget to light candles in memory. Friends, we have already covered over here an astounding nearly 480 great rabbis of yesteryear. We're a community here. We're learning about the great Oriental Rabbanim of yesteryear. Please subscribe to the channel now. Please like the video, share the videos to everyone else, and drop me a comment, especially if you're related to one of these great rabbis. So wishing you well, a Shavuot Tov V'rach, and take care.